Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thunder Ducky, and it is another day that ends in Y, and we have another controversy with a big-time streamer. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I guess just recently, and I'm not saying that this dude hasn't been covered in controversy before, but we're covering this one because this one's pretty nasty. Before I get into it, ladies and gentlemen, though, make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, turning on your bell notifications so you know whenever I put up a video or a live stream. I'm going to try a couple premieres out. I got one running right now as I'm recording this, actually, for the most controversial game of 2012. So if you haven't checked that out yet, be sure to do that. And let's get into this. So this one's going to focus on Boogie 2988, I think is the full title he has for himself. And a pretty scummy accusation is that he has been lowballing his community and begging for money for a potential cancer diagnosis that has been faked. Now, I haven't seen definitive proof of this, but his actions haven't been the most beneficial in determining whether or not he's lying, at least for him. They haven't painted him in a very good light, is what I'm trying to say here. So let's go ahead and hop into this. And I do have some images. I do have some videos that I hunted down. And I'm going to have them all in this for you guys so you can make your own determination at the end of the video. So Boogie's an infamous content creator that has sparked many controversies, as I've already stated. However, this one might be the worst one yet. And that is, of course, the faking of cancer to get money from his supporters, community, whatever you want to call it. Scamming members of his community for about 5 years, starting in 2019, that he faked the cancer diagnosis. So I've heard 2019, and I've heard only a couple of years, like 2. So whether it's been 2 years or 5 years, it doesn't really matter. If he's faking cancer to get money, it's scummy no matter how long you've done it for. On a recent stream for Locale podcast, I don't even know what Locale is, he was offered money to privately share a doctor's note to confirm his diagnosis. So it was, I believe it was between him and Keemstar, and I'll have the video up here in a second. I believe it was between him and Keemstar, the guy who formed Drama Alert, who were having a talk, and of course there were other people there, who were having a talk, and it might have been another person too. It might have been Destiny as well, but there was a discussion on him sending him like a private message, just kind of confirming that he has cancer, like a doctor's note or something like that. And I'll have the video playing for you right now.
I think this is
what is the end reason? What is the end reason? There's already.
I would not walk away from my house. I would not walk away from $50K.
I would not walk away. I
would not walk away from an internet career that's going to give you revenue. That's going to give you. I would not walk away from shitting on these people and proving them wrong.
We are different people.
Yeah, you're being ridiculous.
Jim, again, since we're not live, I can say this. I've been looking for an exit plan for a while.
This is an awful exit plan.
No, it's a.
So you have, of course, that's from Kirsha. Kirsha's awesome if you haven't checked her out. She's a VTuber that is very honest in her opinions and discussion points. You can check her own channel, which is also called Kirsha, or you can check her out on Side Scrollers. And I think she's been on 3 or 4 of Geeks and Gamers streams, their dailies. And I think she was only on 1 main event. But you can check her out there. Fantastic lady. And this is kind of an important thing because if you have someone who's begging for money because he has all these medical bills and stuff, kind of like DSP. Of course, DSP's, different bills, but, bills, that would have been the easiest $65,000 ever if he would have done that, and then, Keem could have been like, oh, well, he's confirming it, so it's legit. You can trust me, which is kind of odd why they would send that to just Keem, and then Keem would be like, yeah, I believe it, or it's true. I mean, it could be a scam they're running together. Who knows? I'm not saying that's what's happening. That's what's happening. I'm saying that's what could be happening. Let's see. Where am I at now? And then Destiny, another person I can't really stand, If you ever seen any of the debates with him in it, you'll understand why I can't stand him. Dude can't argue worth his fucking life. But he was on this, I guess, and I don't know if he's a member or if he's a guest for this locale podcast, but he offered an additional $5,000 to Boogie, and then also kind of went after him whenever Boogie had a certain reaction to him offering this $5,000, which I have the video for right here.
Answer. I would rather Dexerto lead. Boogie lies about cancer than to hand this shit over to you pieces of shit. That's just. This? I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that. Go ahead, print it, Dexerto. Go ahead and print it.
Can you get your patient portal up on your phone and like send it to Tommy?
I'm not going to. Sure,
he's never doing that. He does not have a cancer diagnosis. There's 0% chance he has one.
And you won't prove it? No. You won't prove it? I'd rather you go ahead and print it.
If this is true, and you lied about cancer, this is the biggest scandal on the fucking internet.
And it's not, but go ahead and print it anyway. Go ahead and print it anyway.
It's going.
I prove it. None of you motherfuckers.
Fucking prove it.
2 years ago, and I'm not doing it today. Go right ahead. Print it. Print it the way it is. Go right ahead. I'm okay with it.
Okay, so I guess just to wrap up, because we don't want to take all your guys' time tonight. So just as a couple things, right? So the story as laid out, if you look up secondary polycythemia versus polycythemia vera, all of the leading things that Boogie talks about leading to his condition are consistent with secondary polycythemia, not the mutation that would cause polycythemia vera. The things that Boogie says that his doctor wants him to check for afterwards, like doing a sleep study, are consistent with secondary polycythemia, not primary polycythemia. And the fact that he says that he had the blood markers or something to confirm it 2 years ago, but is now getting a biopsy for secondary confirmation, even though he says he doesn't have the money for medical bills, but I guess now that he does have money, he's going to waste all of it on biopsying things that are already confirmed, or at least confirmed enough that he wanted to talk about it publicly for 2 years ago, and then use it to fundraise the money that he now has so that he can do the biopsy. But I don't think he's doing, by the way, I don't think he's actually doing that.
So doesn't he? To summarize.
If he wanted to disprove it, all he has to do is show a private party this particular medical thing, and it would be
to summarize, Jesse. You're basically saying he's kind of unlucky he doesn't have cancer.
I mean, for this particular case, yeah. If Boogie can confirm, that he has polycythemia vera, and he actually has like a doctor confirmation of the blood cancer, I'll throw $5,000 towards his medical treatment. I'll make that personal pledge right now.
No, hey, you need the money. You're not seeing my medical records for 20, not for 50. You're not seeing my medical records.
$5,000.
I said this. I said this to you medical records.
I just want people to remember in the future then, when Boogie says, I have to do XYZ scam to raise money because my medical bills are hurting so much, he can speak publicly about his medical issues to scam his fans to raise money, but he can't take $5,000 to privately confirm a diagnosis that he already publicly said he has. Doesn't make any sense, but
even I have a fucking limit. Even I have a fucking limit.
What's the limit, though?
It's a bad.
I understand that he, there's a big history of people, I guess, scamming people with cancer, and it's like the worst of the worst. Sure. And you're getting confronted with that right now. When your response to that is,
Go ahead.
I'm not going ahead. I'm just. I'm explaining to you.
Go right the fuck ahead. I don't.
I'm not going ahead with
anything. He's speaking to you.
No, I'm saying run with the story. I don't care.
Now, after all this backlash, and one of the first pieces of damning evidence against Boogie is his deletion of social media. He's hiding. Now, one could argue that that's the backlash that he's receiving from this. Whether it is completely true or not, like you get backlash either way. You got the people that 100% believe it, you got the people that don't believe it, or you got the people that are coming after him no matter what side he's on. And again, there's not hardcore evidence. There is his reactions to everything that's going on that paints him in a very damning light. So yes, he deleted his social media. He's running and hiding. Boogie even went so far as to make a claim. This is one of the other pieces of damning evidence against him. Boogie even went so far as to make a claim that his doctor could have potentially given him a false diagnosis for clout during this podcast. And I also have a video of that for you guys.
Is it possible that next time you see your doctor, you just come out and say, do I have cancer? And he says, well, no. It could turn into cancer. Is that possible?
I guess that's possible.
So
I would have a really strong case for malpractice, but I guess that's possible.
You're saying that's possible. A person that knows they have cancer would be like, no, that is not possible at all. I have cancer.
Well, I'm saying I do have cancer and know it is very unlikely, but I guess it's possible my doctor could be a fucking quack. I guess it's possible he's been lying to me for clout. I guess it's possible that he's been giving me
I don't think he's lying to you, Boogie.
I don't need. I guess that's a possibility.
By the way,
is it possible?
Now, after all of this, you'd think it would be done, right? You would think the situation would be over. He's had so much stuff come out against him, but he decided to do one more thing, and that is get naked on stream for God knows only what reason. And I'll have an image up. Don't worry, I'm not leaving it up for very long. But it's like out of the reason why I include it is after all these allegations of him doing that, why was this something that came to mind as a good idea? Now, let's be perfectly honest here. There's this little thing called HIPAA. Got it written down right here. If you guys don't know what it is, the HIPAA law, which was created in 96, I believe, which is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, which regulates the privacy and security of medical information. Now, the reason why I include this is it's perfectly within his rights to not show any kind of medical information. But his begging for money and not taking potentially about $75,000 paints him in a bad light, along with being okay with people thinking he faked cancer for pity, which he said in one of those videos I played for you guys. Now, here's the deal. I'm not defending this man, but we have another Dr. Disrespect situation going on here. If Boogie would have released the something stating that he had cancer, this would all go away. Now, the reason why I bring up Dr. Disrespect is, of course, Dr. Disrespect could have released the chat logs or whatever to make a determination that he didn't actually have all these bad conversations with a minor, even though we know he's pretty much guilty because he had the word minor in his tweet, and then he took out minor, got called out for it, put back in minor because that was the most damning piece of evidence against him. And he even confirmed that he talked inappropriately, so that's all his damning information. And if it had been like any kind of like jokes or anything, like people say in passing or whatever, that's potentially dirty, and it was made in the presence of a minor, if he would have released it, it would have cleared his name, because, you know, people tell jokes, inappropriate jokes all the time out in public, and there sometimes happens to be kids involved, or kids in the area, I mean. So with this, if Boogie would have sent Keemstar his some kind of medical thing saying that he did in fact have cancer, all this would have went away. All this would go away, I mean. But he's not going to do that because he said this is a perfect way for him to get out, which you also heard at the end of one of his videos. One of the videos I played for you. So I'm not defending this guy at all. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, this is by far the most scummy thing anybody can really do, besides clout of claiming that their child has been killed or something like that. Like, this is pretty bad. And the reason why I'm saying that I 100% believe, or at least I'm leaning towards the mass majority's decision that he is in fact guilty of doing this, is first of all, he came out and said that this is perfectly fine for him as far as an exit goes, and I'm assuming that's the Locale podcast, or maybe just retirement in general. There's the running and hiding and deleting his social media, which makes him look guilty because instead of facing this head on or releasing something, he's decided that he's going to hide, which is never a good way to handle any one of these situations. If you have something like this, you come out and you fucking face it. Is it going to hurt? Yes. Is it going to suck? Absolutely. But be a man, get your sack in order, and you fucking deal with it. And then also the other bit of damning information, the kind of nail in the coffin, is if he was begging for money to pay his hospital bills, this potentially $75,000 would be fundamental in his ability to pay off those bills. it would have been a huge weight, jokes intended, off of his shoulders. So the fact that he didn't take it, and this would have been like the easiest $75,000 anybody could have made in their life. He's decided to not take it. And that pretty much kind of seals the deal, in my opinion. He's incriminated himself beyond belief. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Do you think that he has faked his cancer? Because again, we don't have hardcore proof. Like, we don't have a piece of paper saying that he doesn't have cancer from a doctor. We don't have anything like that. We just basically have how he's kind of damning himself. Do you think he's done that? Because he's been veiled in controversy before. Let me know down in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll catch you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you know whenever I put up a video or do a live stream, and I'll check you later.